Hello viewers, it's SuperGT here. Welcome to the fourth instalment of Power Laps in Forza Horizon 3. So we have had the new Alpinestars Car Pack being released, and I'm going to test two of the cars which caught my attention in this pack. Those are the Honda, or Acura to be more accurate. Let's see what I did there. The Acura NSX 2017 and the Bmw M4 Gts. So both are very new cars, or set in the future if you like, and both are very equal in terms of PI. So this is going to be a very interesting battle, and I'm looking forward to seeing how both of them perform around our Power Laps circuit, which is the tramline sprint through Surfers Paradise. So the Acura NSX. Now it's been a while since the previous NSX generation was released, and it doesn't really look the same at all. It doesn't look very futuristic, it looks very nice. The price tag is supercar territory. We're talking around £130,000. This is not a cheap car by any means. It does put it in the firing line of some serious cars out there, so it's going to be interesting to see how this thing really does turn out. And it is up against this car here, the BMW M4 Gts. The 2016 car is actually officially the fastest BMW production car ever. This is a serious machine right here. I do love the M4. It is an absolutely beautiful looking thing. I do question the orange on the inside of the wheels, but overall I do love the look of this car. Now this thing has almost 500 brake horsepower. It can go 190 miles an hour. So this should be a very close competition between the two cars. So if you just take a quick look at the PI. So this one, the BMW, is an S1 class car, 849 PI. Now its highest rating is braking, 9.4. Speed 7.1 and acceleration 8.4. Let's have a look at the Honda. So that is 868, so it is a bit higher by about 20. Four-wheel drive, launch 10, which you would expect from a four-wheel drive car. Acceleration 9, speed a little bit less than the BMW, but that doesn't always translate to how well it does drive around a track. So we're going to see which one of the two is the quickest around our Power Laps circuit. Okay, so first up we have the Acura NSX, and I'm predicting very good things for this car because I was always very pleased with how the NSXs performed in the previous generations. They always seem to be very good cars in Forza, and let's see if this one is any different. So this car really does push into supercar territory, especially with its price, over £130,000. So this is really quite a seriously expensive car. Now up this straight, in previous cars we've been reaching 200, we're not going to reach that in this one, and this car actually has quite a lot of gears, only reaching 7th gear through that straight, but it does have two more. Now into this one, the car does feel very rooted to the ground, so that actually does play into its favour quite a lot, and we're going to see if the BMW can match that, especially through this kind of chicane that we're going to come up to here. This is where it gets very tricky, and in previous cars I've driven around this course, it does get very tricky for that chicane. You do get a lot of oversteer on the exit if you put down the throttle too hard. Now coming through the roundabout, holding about 50 miles per hour, and even the S2 cars were only holding about 55 miles an hour, so this car not too far off in terms of performance around the roundabout. Just going to graze the fence there, but that's not going to affect our lap time too much. Hitting the apex nicely through the 90-degree right. Going to hit a couple of bumps here, see how the car deals with those bumps, and we're in very nicely in 3rd gear, fully planted on the throttle, and the car just does not want to oversteer at all. So this car is very easy to drive. Really, anyone could just pick it up with the minimal amount of tuning, and you're pretty much good to go. This car is very manageable. So coming into the final chicane, we're going to brake just before that massive bump. If you brake after, you're probably going to be heading into that wall and to your death. Through the chicane nicely in 4th gear, could have gone down to 3rd maybe, but we're going to cross the line here and move over to the BMW. Okay, so now it's time to take the BMW around the track. Let's see what we can do. Now this car is rear-wheel drive, as you can probably tell by the massive wheel spin off the line. It's also 19 PI lower than the Acura NSX, so we are going to be giving away quite a bit of performance. So I'll be surprised or pleased if this car can get within even a couple of seconds of the Acura, but we will see. So apexing there around 135 miles an hour, and down this long straight we're going to top out around 165 before we start braking. Not as many gears in this car, of course, but it does actually feel very planted through the corners, and the brakes feel very good actually. And just kicking the rear end round there, a little bit too eager on the throttle. Getting on the apex very nicely. Just got to be a bit more careful on the throttle coming out of the corners compared to the Acura. The Acura obviously having four-wheel drive, which gives it a massive bonus in terms of acceleration and grip coming out of the corners. So got to be very careful in that respect. Got to drive the cars differently given their different natures in terms of their drivetrains. Through here, again, over 50 miles an hour. So not too far off, and given that it's a very heavy rear-wheel drive car, that's a very good exit from the roundabout as well. Through onto the bridge, not getting too much oversteer and actually not hitting the fence on the outside. Into the right-hander, very planted. I'm actually very surprised. I thought this car would be all over the place, but it really isn't. Now a couple of guys actually have a BMW M4 near to where I live, not the GTS, but the normal BMW M4, and I literally jizz in my pants whenever I see it. They are so beautiful. I really would love to have one of these cars. But we are coming up to the end of the course, and we're coming up to the tricky jump into the chicane. Just going to brake just before the jump to make sure we don't go too far into that wall. Apexing over the grass, getting a decent exit. I'm actually very surprised at this car. I think this is going to be a decent lap, and we're going to see exactly how quick it is now. Okay, so here we are. This is the power lap time board, which you can access by clicking in the link in the description below. And these are the times we have so far. So the fastest is the Ultimate Evolution 1020, and the region we're looking for is between these two cars here. So these are all S2 class cars, the top 6, and the bottom 3 are obviously very slow cars. We're going to move these ones down, as these two cars are within this area here, so slightly slower than the GTA Spano. So the slower of the two was the BMW M4, and that did it in a time of 2 minutes 21.408. So about 10 seconds slower than the GTA Spano, which isn't too bad actually, given that the GTA Spano is a highly rated S2 class car. And then that leaves the Acura NSX with a time of 2 minutes 15.302. So you can actually see there's actually quite a big gap between the two of 6 seconds, which is actually quite a lot more than what I thought. The BMW felt like it handled very nicely. The power delivery wasn't too bad either, given that it's a rear-wheel drive car. So overall, the NSX actually winning that quite comfortably, and I'll say that is mainly down to the fact that it's a four-wheel drive car. That really did help it through the corners and out of the corners. It really did help its performance overall. So that is what the power lap time board currently looks like. So it's populating quite nicely, and I'd like you to suggest more challenges for me to do. So in the comments section down below, make sure you comment a couple of cars that I should put together and see which ones are the quickest. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So the Alpinestars DLC pack is available now from the marketplace. So if you have it already, let me know what your thoughts are on the cars in the pack. I hope you did enjoy this video, guys. Hit the like button if you did, and subscribe for plenty more content like this if you are new to the channel. So that is all from me in this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video. Goodbye.